The Bhagavad Gita is studied as philosophy and spirituality, but almost nobody reads it as what it actually is. The most psychologically precise conversation ever recorded. 5 verses, each one anticipating a concept that modern researchers took centuries to name. 5 things psychology is still learning from a battlefield conversation that happened 3,000 years ago. Verse 1, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. You have a right to your actions, never to the fruits of those actions. This is not spiritual advice. This is the most precise insight in the psychology of performance. Psychologist Stephen Hayes at the University of Nevada built acceptance and commitment therapy on a nearly identical principle, engaging fully with action while releasing attachment to its result. Peer-reviewed research consistently shows that people who focus on process outperform those who focus on outcome, because outcome focus activates anxiety. Process focus activates engagement. The Gita described the neuroscience of peak performance in Sanskrit, 3,000 years before researchers had the tools to measure it. Verse 2, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 5. Elevate yourself through the power of your own mind. Let the self be the ally of the self and not its enemy. Psychologist Kristin Neff at the University of Texas, Austin, spent 2 decades documenting that most people are their own harshest critic, applying standards to themselves they would never apply to anyone else. Her research found that self-compassion, treating yourself as you would treat a friend in distress, produces measurably better outcomes than self-criticism in every dimension. The Gita told you this 3,000 years ago. The same mind that destroys you is the only mind that can elevate you. Verse 3. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verses 62 and 63. From contemplating sense objects comes attachment. From attachment comes desire. From desire comes anger. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, loss of intelligence. And from loss of intelligence, destruction. 6 steps. Written 3,000 years ago. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman at Princeton documented in his Nobel Prize-winning research that when emotion hijacks cognition, the brain's rational system is not overridden. It is disconnected. The Gita mapped the entire cascade from contemplation to destruction in 6 precise sequential steps before neuroscience existed as a field. Every bad decision you have ever made started at step 1. The Gita told you where to intervene. Verse 4. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 14. The contact of the senses with sense objects gives rise to feelings of heat and cold, pleasure and pain. They come and they go. They are impermanent. Learn to tolerate them. Psychologist Marsha Linehan at the University of Washington built distress tolerance, a core skill of dialectical behavior therapy on this exact principle. The skill is not to eliminate distress. It is to recognize that distress is temporary and that tolerating it without acting on it is one of the most powerful psychological abilities available. What the Gita called a spiritual practice, DBT calls a clinical intervention. The insight is identical, only the century changed. Verse 5. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 35. The mind is undoubtedly restless and difficult to control, but through practice and detachment, it can be mastered. Neuroscientist Jon Kabat-Zinn at the University of Massachusetts founded mindfulness-based stress reduction on this precise principle. Decades of peer-reviewed research now confirm what the Gita stated as fact 3,000 years ago. The brain changes with practice. The restless mind is not broken, it is trainable. What the Gita called abhyasa and vairagya, practice and detachment, neuroscience calls neuroplasticity. The Gita did not use the language of neuroscience. It did not need to, it already had the answer. 5 verses. Your right is to action, never outcome. The mind is ally and enemy. You choose which. Attachment cascades into destruction in 6 precise steps. Every feeling is temporary. Learn to tolerate it. The restless mind can be trained through practice and detachment. The Bhagavad Gita was not written for monks on mountaintops. It was written for people standing at their own Kurukshetra, trying to understand why they act, why they suffer, and how to live. Psychology has been walking toward the Gita for 3,000 years. Subscribe to Mind Decoded. Tell me in the comments which verse changed something for you today. I read every single one. See you in the next one.